Thanks for tuning in, folks, and welcome back to Carmicast, Episode 3. I'm your host, Denton Weiss. To my right, we have Skylar Ann.
Hello.
And our guests today are Eric and Griffin Hart.
Hello. Hello.
So, if I have this right, your grandmother and my grandfather were brother-sister.
That's correct.
So it'd be Margaret and
Yes.
Lowell. Most people would know him as Newt.
Correct.
Which would make Carmen, your mother, and my dad, David, first cousins.
That's right.
And that would make us who knows what.
Technically, we're third.
Third cousins.
Yes.
See
We
how-
grew up more like fighting brothers.
Yeah,
but
neighbors.
Yes, definitely.
Although, I guarantee you Dustin picked on me more than anybody else did.
Absolutely. I guarantee it. Maybe other than my dad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Mike picked on me too.
Yeah.
For sure. Hit me in the back of the head with a mud clod once, I believe.
I think you cussed him for a good half hour.
Yeah, I was a cusser.
Was
Yes,
there any
you were.
rocks? Was there any rocks in that mud clot, or was it just
Had to
plain?
have been because it felt like a ton of bricks. I was madder than hell, too.
He's actually on a go-kart.
Yep.
Dad was just going to aim towards him, and Dad hit him. And he was mad. Very.
That was at the new house.
When it was
that
being
happened.
built.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it was completely done.
Yeah, we had an old go-kart, and when they built that house, Dad smoothed the ground off and had a big pile of dirt out there. And my great uncle's girlfriend, I don't think they were ever married. P.I. and Sandy were never married.
I don't know. I know.
She
there's
came
no
out
telling.
there. Oh yeah, she came out there with him one day.
Yeah.
2-3 sheets to the wind, and Dustin talked her into getting on that go-kart, and they took off, and he drove her over that hill. And oh man, my dad laughed and laughed and laughed. How was Christmas?
It's
Everybody have a
good.
good Christmas?
Good.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought it was weird Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm used to seeing bell ringers at Walmart. There's no bell ringers. Mall Santas are telling kids we can't have Nerf guns. That kind of weirded me out. We normally have a bunch of Christmas parties at Gotzi's. We had a few that were just little small ones, but it was just a strange year. I mean, I can't, look at this. I haven't even got my Christmas haircut this year. I usually get a haircut once I see the CPAP lines in my hair.
Yeah, I've
And,
got that too. I get accused of that a lot.
But my barber had COVID. Matter of fact, this would be Lucas Nelson. Nelson's on Main.
Yeah.
Yes.
He just got released from quarantine. What?
Yesterday, I think. Or, well, no, it's been a couple days, but he just opened
He's
his
opened
shop
back up.
yesterday
Well,
or today.
his girlfriend was so bad, man. She was terribly bad.
Yeah.
In the hospital. Is she? She's out of the hospital?
Yeah, she's out of the hospital now, but I think she's got pancreatitis or something that they've
Pancreatitis?
Yeah, something like that they've been having to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to
Bad
be
deal.
miserable.
Well,
Yeah.
let's go back a little bit pre-Christmas. The card game, we missed that this year.
It's true. My dad
That
always
was-
has a
yeah.
poker tournament night before Thanksgiving every year. We canceled that.
Yep.
It's just been a weird year,
Yeah.
and I was so ready to get 2020 over with. Speaking of 2021, does everybody have New Year's resolutions? You guys have a New Year's resolution?
I've never been a New Year's resolutioner of any kind.
Me either.
Oh,
I have a bad habit of being able to keep them.
yeah.
Well, for instance, I'll give you an example. My New Year's resolution this year was to not get angry when I watch the news. And I made it until, what is today, the 5th? I made it until the 4th.
That's not bad for you, Denton.
You know what made me mad? Did you see the preacher at, I think it was a Congress gathering,
Yeah, it's opening for the house. The
Yeah.
prayer.
and he finished it with amen and a women?
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't even make sense.
No.
Well,
I laughed so hard my abdo women hurt.
yeah, well, amen has nothing to do with men.
Right.
No.
It's ridiculous. That's,
And, you know, I promised Abby I wouldn't bring up politics,
it's all
and I
right.
don't think this is political at all. I
think
just
it's
think
social. This is social. This
Yeah.
is our mentality of society, and I don't want to get into that too hard. But yeah, we both have discussed that before. But yeah, this is not a good start.
No.
Yeah, it's a weird start to
our-
a new year.
Here's another one. Here's a good joke. Our ancestors are going to look back at this and call this a shameful time in herstory.
You're hilarious.
Appreciate it.
You're so
we needed
funny.
one of those. Ching.
Yeah, you've got to get some more sound effects. Definitely.
I'm just not quick enough.
Could you imagine? There it is. Yeah.
There we go.
Can you
Sorry, I'm not
imagine
fast enough.
Neil Armstrong stepping off the lunar lander and saying, "That's one small step for people, one giant leap for people kind."
All the peoples.
You just want me to keep hitting the button. That's why
yeah.
I keep making jokes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, hey, we have 2 giveaways. On our last show, we had Ryan Osborne from Rhino's 3D Print Shop on, and he brought some of his 3D prints in. People were supposed to get online and guess on it. So, let's see. The highest one was going to go to the Homer Simpson. So, Homer, the donut, and the fork, knife, toothpick combo goes to none other than, man, we need a drum roll, too, Dakota Wheeler.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I feel like if Dakota, when he hears that, he's going to run off the road.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be so excited. Nobody tell him until he hears it himself.
Right. And then, should I tell him what the number was?
Yeah. Might as well.
High number was 782, and the low number Ryan picked was 444. So the lowest, the person closest to the lowest number was Ryan Stokey. He gets Gollum and what'd they call this? The ear saver?
Yeah.
Ear saver. So you guys can get a hold of us either through Facebook or stop by up here sometime, or even peek your head into Gotsy's, and I'll make sure they get it.
Just don't call me.
Yeah,
I know
don't
them
call.
both,
Yeah,
so.
don't bug Skylar.
Yeah, please don't.
Speaking of Skylar, he has a new show that's being produced at Carmicast Studios that's called Skies View. That is capital S K Y S capital V IEW. Skies View. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you listen to your
pretty
podcasts. The first episode did not have video. We're actually still in the process of setting up some cameras. We have 2 now. Maybe in a week we'll have the 4 cameras set up.
Should have it by Thursday, actually.
Perfect.
Yep.
That's good news. So we have a show scheduled Friday night that we're doing for Skies View.
Yep.
And it's going to be. Can I tell them who the guests are going to be yet, or is this a secret?
Let's keep it a secret.
All right.
Let's let them find out.
That's right. So Friday night, we got a new show coming for Skies View, and we hope, as long as everything goes smooth, we'll have video for it.
Yeah.
And by the time it's released, Skies View will have a YouTube channel.
Skies View actually does have a YouTube channel now, so if you want to go follow it, you can, but there's nothing on it yet. So
Gotcha.
Get pre-prepared for it, I guess.
Perfect.
And it is viewer discretion advised as well. It's a little more of a adult-friendly podcast. So
Yeah, probably might not want to have young kids in the car or sitting on the couch with you when you're watching it, but
or grandma probably, maybe grandma.
depends on who's grandma.
Yeah.
I know a few that wouldn't care.
But yeah, and then speaking of Luke has been meaning to start a podcast that he's going to call Southern Illinois Sounds.
Yes.
But just as the ball started rolling, his fiance got sick. She was in the hospital. And then about the time he was going to be done with his initial quarantine because of being around her,
Yeah.
then he ended up with it. So he's had a rough time. So hopefully we can get that up and running soon. And that'll give, we'll have 3 shows for people to listen to. But
yeah,
keep in mind, if there's anybody out there that wants to start a podcast, get a hold of us, pitch your idea, and then we try to make it work and get another show coming out of here. So.
Yeah, we'd love to have 20 if we could.
All right, well, I'm going to take a quick break to hear from one of our sponsors, and when we come back, we are going to talk to Eric and Griffin Hart.
Hi, I'm Abby Weiss from Gotsy's Restaurant in Carmi. Countless times, people have told us they've never dined with us or thought we were just a bar. While we do have a full bar, we are much more of a full-service restaurant. Some of our menu items include cheeseburgers, steak sandwiches, grilled or hand-breaded tenderloins, wraps, hand-breaded shrimp, and lots of other appetizers and side items. We have numerous salads as well, Our most popular salad comes with almonds and rice noodles. We have a fiesta salad with black beans, corn, tortilla strips. We have chef salads. You can get steak, grilled, or breaded chicken on any salad of your choosing. We're located at 105 East Cherry Street, and our phone number is 382-5715. We deliver every shift, even lunch. Again, our number is 382-5715. We'd love to see you.
All right, and we are back. So Eric and Griffin essentially buy, trade, sell, and restore die-cast toy tractors.
That's correct.
Are they all die-cast?
Pretty much.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
So how in the world every hobby, I do leather work, and it all come about because I had an English Mastiff that had a huge neck, and I needed to make a collar.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get started on something like this? Which I know you always had toy tractors, because
Well, that's probably where it really started. I mean, I grew up around the farming. Your grandpa, Gerald York, we're all neighbors.
and they had
yeah,
Alice Chandler
yeah,
tractors.
absolutely. And that's kind of where it started. And I had a lot of the 1/64 scale, which is a smaller scale. We can talk a little bit about the scales. There's about 4 or 5 different sizes. But I kind of started with that. And the ones I had back then, you're talking the 80s. There wasn't a whole lot of implements and things, so I started kind of making some of my own out of actually literally cardboard, red ties, and a hot glue gun. And red ties, so used to when you'd buy a big bag of trash bags, it came with a thing of ties.
Ties, yeah.
I immediately went and stole them because we burn all our trash. We didn't tie it up and send it anywhere. So that's the first thing I got out of the box. And so that's what I made all my hinges and
Back in the day, they
of.
worked for good wire management, too.
Yeah, yeah. So that was kind of my main start. And then, I've always been around farming. And then when Griffin came along, of course, I had some old tractors, and he played with them. And
Oh yeah, I played with the crap out of them in my sandbox all the time.
Well, I've got 2 kids, which you guys know this. Finley, she's more into dinosaurs, but Huck loves tractors.
Yep.
Especially tractors. Really anything with wheels on it, but tractors mainly. And he's rough on them.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like every boy is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're not going to tell your kid, because I'm assuming these things are more valuable if they're still in the box.
It depends.
Yes.
It really depends.
Yeah.
So, and who's going to tell their kid that, hey, you got to leave it in the box?
Yeah.
And that's exactly, and that's
So
kind
they're
of
going to get used.
Yeah, and that's where this came from. We, Griffin had mine, and I'll be honest, didn't have the money back then to buy much. So, he had mine, and then we started kind of collecting a little bit, and I found it was like, this is something me and him can do together. Mm-hmm. We go to shows, and so we go out for a day. We go to Metropolis. We might go to Sykes, Missouri, wherever the show's at.
So they have toy tractor shows.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
So this
auctions.
isn't just a rare, weird, strange hobby.
Well,
a lot of people are doing this.
Once you get into the clique of the groups, you find there's a lot of them out there, and you start seeing a lot of people. And there's national shows. There's St. Louis has a huge one every February. Of course, it's canceled this year due to COVID, but they have an auction and a show, and they'll have 150 vendors, Griffin?
Oh, at least 150 vendors, and that's not counting the auction that has at least 500 to 700 pieces in it.
Yeah.
So the vendors are selling new
Both.
tractor?
The vendors are basically selling anything from stuff that was made in the 50s, 60s, 70s era all the way to stuff that's made this year. Yeah. It just depends on the vendor.
I still have a manure spreader that fits a tractor that looks just like that, I think.
It is. That's actually why I brought that one.
Okay.
So your dad actually had this set, okay? It came with a manure spreader, a disc, and I believe a plow, okay?
Yeah.
Is originally. And it came in a box that can be converted into a barn, okay? Your dad never would let me play with it. I got to play with it twice in my life. He kept it upstairs.
What a jerk.
Yeah, ain't he though? That David Weiss. But if he still had that box and all this in that set, $9,000.
9?
9.
There for a second, I thought you said 90. I was getting ready to call him up.
No.
But yeah, $9,000 for just that set alone.
Back in the day, it would have cost $100.
40,
40, 50, something like that.
yeah, maybe. But you got to have
disgusting.
You listening, Mom?
yeah, but you got to have the box.
You guys don't restore boxes?
We do buy boxes.
Yeah,
We've literally went to sales and bought just a box.
Just because we had the tractor.
Yeah. So
well, I still have the manure spreader, the disc, and the plow. I've got them kind of on display in my basement on a shelf. But when Huck sees them, he wants them down, so I let him get them down.
Absolutely. And that's if you're not having fun with it, what's the point of having it?
That's true.
And there's that side of it. So
if they were still in the box, I'd tell him to get his ass back upstairs.
Tell Grandpa that he can't buy him something else. That was not work. So basically, with this one that we're just talked about, we converted that one to what this was. Okay, so those are basically the two same tractors, just
a little different tire, essentially.
Tires, some extra. We added the smokestacks and some things like that are on there. Some toolboxes. Some things we like to do, though, is we like to make sure the little hubcaps are painted the right colors. We're going to paint the handles. We're going to add some extra details to them and change them up, make them a little bit different. Some different types of tires. It's just like cars. It's like, if you go buy you a Chevy, whatever, or say you buy a big pickup and you want to add some wheels and tires, that's the first thing you do, right? You put new tires, you add mufflers. That's what we do. We're just doing it on toys.
And you can work on it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And a lot cheaper.
Right.
Yeah. But, we get
So this was yours or this is somebody else's?
We purchased.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, we go to, last year alone, I think we went to at least 10 shows.
Probably.
And that's just toy shows that we go to. And there's anywhere from 10 to 20 vendors selling different, ranges of toys. And then I'd probably say at least 2 or 3 auctions that averaged 500 to 600 pieces.
We go to an annual deal at Arcola right after Thanksgiving. They're Amish or Mennonite guys up there, and they have auctions all the time, and they have an annual toy sale that's going to have 800 plus pieces in it, and it's all toy tractors. So.
I'm assuming there's all kinds of different companies that produce the tractors now. But back like when this was first came out, there couldn't have been that many companies.
There's a couple.
Ertl's number one.
Ertl?
Yeah, they're still out there. They've been there since probably easily the 50s.
Yeah. If
these are Ertl. Yeah. For us, we buy Ertl, Spec Cast, and Toy Farmer. There's a few other ones out there, but those are the main 3 we probably stick with.
Yeah.
So if somebody called you guys, like let's just say somebody's watching this show when we release it, and they're like, you know what? I've got an old rusty tractor that I used to play with when I was a kid, and it looks like crap. That'd be something good to get restored and give to my grandkid for Christmas. Is that something you guys would be interested in doing?
Yeah.
Just for example, we took something.
Oh, wow, look at that thing. That's been in the gravel.
This is Dad's original ones that he had.
Right.
I ran the wheels off the sucker, and we take it. We can then sandblast it, take it apart down to this, and then essentially go through the process
of painting
it, adding a few details, mufflers. Some of them come with 3-point hitches. We can add that stuff on there. Add fenders. Customize it how you want to. And just go through the process. As long as it has the metal frame.
So this is kind of a halfway point. You've already got the seat painted, and you're getting ready to start painting the front half of it.
And what I wanted to kind of show on this one, and it's one of the things that you're going to do it, but the customer's never going to see it. But this seam was all busted open on the back of the seat. The whole center was broke apart, and I fixed all that to where it's back to sealed up or basically new. I wouldn't have to do that, but the way I am, that's what I want to do. Well, I like it to be back to right. And that's why the one we were just looking at, the original one, the original toy has no muffler or a breather on it. That's not how the tractor came.
Right.
That's not how it was in the field. That's not how it was ran. So that kind of, I like to at least make them look more like what they should be.
Right.
But, along this line, so this one, as we're getting to this, that is for a customer there. That's for Larry Beck. And the reason he wants it restored because his dad had one, and it's a lot easier.
Was it red?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he wants it red?
Yeah,
then?
yeah. So that was an international harvester.
Do you plan on redoing this one?
all of them have got, it's like everything else. They're all in plans.
Yeah.
So, right there on the screen, he's showing that's what that one originally looked like.
I know it
got pulled up there now, so.
I know it's hard to.
So that's how that one started.
I know it's hard to pin down, but let's just say somebody brings in a tractor that looks like that and they want it restored. Like, what would that?
And it just really just depends
on the condition.
On the condition. Like something like this, you're going to have to replace the muffler off the back because it's broke off. And then you're going to have to go probably.
I guess it depends on how many new parts you got to.
Yeah, it really depends on what we're going to do is really just take it apart and see what we can salvage and see what. Then after that, we have to go into finding the parts for it, which luckily we know of a couple of sites that we can actually order parts off of: tires, wheels, mufflers, steering wheels, fenders, front weights to go on the front of the tractor to make it more realistic.
Oh yeah,
and that's what some of it comes down to is how much do you want to do to it. It's just like detailing or adding stuff to your truck.
Right.
You want mud tires and bigger shocks. Do you want dual exhaust? It's however far you want to go. But on average, you're going to put, at least $40-$50 of parts into one pretty easily. Some of these wheels, like some of the wheels alone could cost $25. It just depends how far you want to go. Mm-hmm. What we also like to do is to go to these auctions and buy what we call donor tractors. So
for parts?
Yeah. So when we can go buy a toy for $25, $20, $30, but it's got
4 perfect tires.
Yeah. Then I can use it. And that's what a lot of these have. Some of these have actually got parts. We don't throw nothing away. No. And then plus we use a lot of things that may be household, like.
Man, don't get in the restaurant business because you got to throw stuff away all the time.
Yeah. Just like this one. So we added this lever was here, but we put this kind of the handle on it. That's actually a top off a stick pin that you'd buy for like sticking in your clothes or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I cut that off, flattened out the end, and then added it on there to make a little handle. It's kind of funny when a 300-pound man walks into Hobby Lobby with his work jeans on, and he's digging around for paint. Yeah, So, but you get used to that after a while. But that's kind of my go-to store on some things. But
somebody was telling me the other day, I don't know if it was Skylar telling me this, but someone here in Carmi in their upstairs or in their basement has built like a miniature farm.
Oh yeah,
what do you mean?
With tractors and trees and barns and livestock and fences.
That's a whole nother part of the hobby.
Yeah, it is.
Man, I would if whoever done that is listening, message us. I would like to see pictures of that.
There's actually a huge set right now on sale. A guy's trying to sell over around McLeansboro. It's probably 4 or 5 tables full of stuff. Mm-hmm. And they actually have contests at some of these shows we go to, and these guys bring these sets in and set them up. We've not got into that. We've got enough going on. But
I remember when I was a kid, I felt like you had every single Star Wars character toy upstairs at your house. I mean, I can remember all the Ewoks, the whatever machines those were that walked on the ground.
walkers, yeah.
I mean, it seemed like you had it all.
Yeah, and I tore every bit of it apart. I was rough on it. I actually sold it a few years back. I sold everything I had. I actually traded some of it for some tractor stuff with a guy. So
you're probably too old to have messed with He-Man. He-Man.
You had the He-Man.
Yeah,
and I remember you guys having it at your house. Yeah.
We had Castle Grayskull and
I had all that too. Master of the Universe.
Yeah. The bad guy was Skeletor.
I have the power.
Yeah, I would get behind one castle, Dustin would get behind the other, and we would launch the He-Man at each other and trying to knock the castle over on the other guy, and I'm pretty sure I lost every single battle. Well, of course.
It could happen. But yeah, I definitely was either Star Wars or Tractors was pretty much what I had, and I guess the Tractors have kind of hung on. But you're kind of talking about some of the parts again, though, but this part here is actually one I made, both of these. So this is actually going to go on the front of this one, Griffin. I don't know if you can kind of see. So that's a brush guard. Larry's asked for that. Okay, that's what his had, and he wants to put that on his tractor. So
makes sense.
So we're going to add that. This is a rock carrier we've made. It'll go on something eventually. So we make some of our parts. We buy some of our parts. We scavenge some of our parts. Mm-hmm. This tractor, it just depends. But that's what this one's going to be. So this is a customer one. We're doing some of those. I that's as probably in depth a paint scheme as I went for a while, kind of doing a lot more two-tone stuff, and I'm trying to get a little better at that.
It looks neat.
So, and then
this one I think has a lot of different colors.
This
in
is awesome. This is the one I'm actually just finishing up. That was actually one of Scott's.
Scott Weiss.
Yeah. So Dustin,
The Duke.
Ben's uncle, the Duke of Earl.
Yeah.
That was one of Scott's. I traded out. I actually made Scott an aluminum ramp that he could bring his green egg in out of the garage. What happened, I wanted to try to buy these tractors because me and him played with them as kids. They were up in your grandpa's barn in a big brown box, and I think you and Dustin probably played with them at one point.
I'm sure we did.
And Scott didn't want to sell them. He didn't want money because he didn't know really the value, and I tried to tell him a little bit of the value, but he said, if you'll make me a ramp, I'll trade you for those.
Deal.
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I love to trade. So some of you don't know I'm also a welder. I do a lot of welding, so this kind of falls into that. But anyway, this is one. I've had some pictures of this one up before. Skylar, I don't know if you can see. It's kind of the ones that are all tore apart and different things, but we've changed it up a lot from what it was.
Which one? What color is that?
It's
one?
kind of tan and orange.
It might be the only double.
It looks like the top right. This one, right corner. Over, top right.
Sorry, I didn't get it.
Oh, okay.
So that's how it kind of started. That's what it looked like. When we were,
That's it there?
That's
Oh,
it.
yeah, I guess it is. It's
That's
split
the
down
back.
the middle.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we split it apart.
Yeah, we take them completely apart when we sandblast them. So that's it. Actually had a cab on it originally. I didn't like the way the cab looked. I didn't like the way they designed it from the get-go. So I kind of got rid of the cab, changing some things over with it.
Is that another one of it too?
That was actually the other one, but that's,
okay.
it's no big deal. They're,
Yeah.
That's all started.
One of these that we were looking at these pictures for you guys
Yeah.
got here. One of them, or maybe even two of them, almost looked wooden, or did it just look that way because of.
I think it was
after
the ones
it's
we just
sandblasted.
looked. I think it's
Yeah,
this
it's
one that
probably-
we looked at.
Yeah.
I think it's that one we thought was wood,
Yeah.
possibly.
And that's just the original paint on it. It's just from how it's probably been, because I know sitting up in that box in the barn for who knows how long, all the dust and dirt and
I mean, that
Mouse turds
Yeah.
and spider webs.
yeah.
Aunt Mary probably bought that back in 1975, 78 sometime, maybe 80. but
Probably right after she burned all of Dad's baseball cards.
that might have been. Might have been.
He
So-
had Mickey Mantle rookie cards and you name it. He had an uncle or something. You might know more about this than me, but Dad had an uncle or a cousin that ran like a delivery truck, like would deliver candy and stuff to all the stores. And he would always bring Dad a case of baseball cards every week.
Really?
And he had all kinds of stuff. And Grandma called him one afternoon and said, "What do you want these baseball cards?" He said, "Nah." So I'm gonna burn them then, and she burned them.
That was a
Wow.
bad idea. I'm sure
Yeah.
they're worth thousands now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Now, my mom, Carmen, Denton's mother and father's neighbor, she burnt my kiss cards one time.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
Yeah,
how
they was the
dare her.
devil. How dare 666 and all that.
Kiss Army.
Yeah, yeah, that's really the only rock and roll thing I ever had, and she burned them. So that's the way it goes. But so that's one of that's one that we fixed up that was Scott's. This is also one that was Scott's, and this is one Denton. I think either you or Dustin had probably carved Weiss Farms right here. I really wanted somehow to keep that.
If it was spelled right, it was me.
It was. It was a little squiggly, but it was spelt right. I don't know if you remember when your dad was farming pretty hard there, you guys had a lot of Weiss Farm stickers on stuff.
Yep.
And it was very cool. He'd put it on these tractors, and I think you guys kind of liked that, and you ended up putting it on this tractor.
Yeah. I'm not so certain that they didn't farm with was it a 7050?
No, they actually, I'm ashamed that I remember this stuff. I can't remember somebody's name, but they had a 7000, a 7040, and then they had the 200 they planted with.
That
That's
200 lasted forever.
The 200 actually is still around. That's what Lincoln and Derek Price ended up with. That actually started out as your grandpa's planting tractor. And I have a 200 also that came from Scott, and I fixed it up. So, that's very cool to me. That'll never leave. That'll never leave my house.
Speaking of that 200,
Yeah.
that's the tractor Dad was using to level the ground
Yep.
at the house.
Yep.
And my brother reached down and picked up a dirt clod just like Mike would. And he's like, "Watch this." And I said, "Don't do it, don't do it." And he launched that thing, and it missed Dad by about 6 feet behind him. And I'm like, "Thank God. All right, no more." He picked up another, and I was like, "Don't do it." He threw that one, and it hit the tractor about right here. Boom! Made a big loud noise, and he always knew not to mess with Dad when it was hot and his glasses would slide down to the end of his nose because his nose was sweaty. And he gave us that look over the top of his glasses like, not today, boys.
Don't do it again, yeah.
So I told Dustin, I'm like, that's it. Stop. Don't do it. And he picked up one last dirt clod, and he threw that thing across the yard, and it hit Dad on the bill of the cap and spun his hat sideways. And he jumped off that 200 and chased Dustin all over the place. Never caught him, but if he'd have caught hold of him, his ass was going to get beat with that belt.
Yeah. I find it hard to believe that you were the voice of reason.
Oh, I was always the voice of reason.
Oh, wow.
90% of the whippings I got was because Dustin brought them upon us. And
I understand.
I'd say Mom and Dad would probably vouch for that statement.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Now, I'm talking when we were younger.
Sure.
Now, once we got, older and I was out of the house, I wouldn't.
Things might have changed a little.
Yeah.
That happens. So we've got, I've got these ones that came from, your family, my family, our family, whatever you want to put it. And, that means something to me. I grew up on these, these type of tractors. That 200 was your grandpa's workhorse. I was 6 years old going over there riding with him, and I got a little older. I'd take my 3-wheel wherever I'd see some dust flying, and I was jumping on. So
one thing I like about these die-cast tractors is they just last forever.
Oh, yeah.
And it's nothing to it's a good toy to pass on through the generations.
Absolutely.
So I think it's great you guys are fixing them up, and I think it's a good idea for people to get them fixed up and to keep them in the family and to pass them on.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling them before. My grandpa actually used to buy them for all of our grandkids, like all of his grandkids, so all of my cousins. Our first birthday, we would get the pedal ones. So it was I think it was a 2040. My mom still has it. It was like a 1991. She still got it and
did
loves
she ever
it.
send you a picture of it?
I don't think she did. She was supposed to.
Which you guys, we kind of talked about this off air, but you guys just started on a pedal tractor, right?
Well, that was actually the very first thing I did. Skylar, I got a picture of the one that I did. This is actually the first.
Yeah, we're gonna embarrass you to the masses since you're in it.
Yeah, this is a horrible picture.
There we go.
Yeah, so that's my kids right there, and that's Carly on it, and that was actually thrown away at the Carmi dump.
That tractor was?
Yes.
You did?
No, somebody brought it up there to throw it away.
Oh, and that's how you ended up.
Yeah.
I thought you meant you guys.
No. So I couldn't afford to buy them a pedal tractor because they're a few $100.
They were expensive.
Yeah. And I mean, I got 2 young kids, but I always wanted to get them one. Well, when I picked that up, the steering wheel was gone, the pedal assembly was gone, the wheels were wore off of it, and I thought I'm going to figure out a way to fix this up. And of course, back then there's not a lot of internet stuff. There's not a lot of places to find parts. And of course, I was already in the tractor world a little bit, and I'd seen some guys at shows with some of these, so I started asking where you buying parts. So I actually first got those parts out of Delaware. I had a place send me a catalog. I don't really deal with them much anymore, but I've still got that tractor. After the kids got a little bit bigger, we finally had to put it up because I actually had people stopping by trying to buy it. I was afraid somebody's just going to take it right out of the yard, So,
well, aren't they several hundred?
That one alone up there. In today's market, and I mean for that condition, that people would consider that like okay, like good to okay condition. That's a $600 pedal tractor right there.
Absolutely. So that's why we own probably 4 or 5 pedal tractors. They all need work, but that's okay. That's what we want to do. But they are a little more expensive, and that's why we haven't collected them as much. Plus, they take up 10 times as much room.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my basement's already getting full because we have
you can work on one of these on the kitchen table, but I'd say Beth would be mad you go working on a couple of them.
She doesn't like it when he's working on them down in the basement.
Yeah, I have a shop. Of course, my welding shop's outside, but I keep this pretty much separate. So this is down in my basement. That's where we display, and that's also where I work on them. We have probably 200 pieces on display alone with this size.
And that's from heck, we started collecting back when I was probably in like 5th or 6th grade, and I'm 23 now.
Yeah,
so
there's still something we get to do together, something we get to go take off and do. But yeah, definitely, if somebody's interested, because let's be honest, going back to your childhood, you can't really afford a real one necessarily park out in your driveway, but you can put one of these on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah,
and if you want it made the way you want it, that's what's going to happen with this one. This is going to be for Drew Phipps, and he's going to want it. He's wanting it made the way his grandpa's was. So this is what we're calling this is called a donor tractor. So we're going to tear this all down because his doesn't have a cab, and it's going to have actually a V8, so it's going to have stacks coming out this way. So I'm going to go in and fill in this hood seam, and it's going to be some work, but I'm going to make it the way his grandpa's looked, and that's the thing. If you want it the way you want it, you necessarily can't just go buy it. And that's right. That's kind of how I got started doing it, because I like to add duals. I like to add different tires. I like to add cabs or take off cabs. Well, you can't go buy every one of them, but you can make them.
Yeah.
Or fix them up. And it's just fun. I call it my therapy. It's where I sit down there and on a Sunday rainy afternoon, and I ain't got nothing to do because my kids are grown and aren't at home as much. So, but it still involves with Griffin, and we get to go do stuff. Griffin loves to do the haggling and the money stuff. And
that's my world. I like to go talk to all the people at the shows. Try to haggle down the lowest price I can get for him. Then I give them to Dad, and he fixes them up.
Yeah. And now Griffin still does all my decals, and he does do some of the work, but my big fat hands can't do the decals very well, and I shake a little more. So Griffin usually puts the decals on.
I'm assuming you have to order the decals.
Yes.
Usually everything. Usually all of the decals you have to order just like one set. So for example, for like this tractor, we'll order decals for it, and it'll come in just all the stickers that are on it that are made for that tractor will come in one set.
And we may not use them because if we take the cab off, we still got to buy the cab stickers, but we save them. I mean, you may find another use for them, but it's just you got to buy it. But I'll give a shout out to Dakota Toys. Maybe they'll give me a sponsorship. But that's one of the places we buy. But
maybe us too.
Yeah, who knows? We'll try. Yeah, but there's 4 or 5 places out there, and it's just like anything else. Once you get in the network, once we start going to shows, we see a lot of the dealers. We start talking to them. I call these guys up. There's a guy named Chucky Stevens. He does Chucky Stevens puller tractors, and he now does a lot of building parts and sells them. And me and Skylar and Griffin were talking a little earlier. That's the whole 3D printing side of it.
Yeah,
that's really coming along. We've not got to that yet for us, but it's coming. They're actually making complete tractors out of resin now, and what it's saving you is some of these bigger articulating 4-wheel drives, which we have a lot of those too. We love them, but they're a lot more expensive. They're going to average you about $200 a tractor to go buy them at a show at the minimum. Yeah. If they can make one out of resin for $100.
Yeah.
Well, the guy displaying it's not really going to care. He don't care what it's made out of.
It's all about the look.
Yeah. And these are model tractors. These aren't going to be your sandbox tractors as much anymore. Now you can still play them. The one we did for Gerald not too long ago, we gave it to him at Thanksgiving, and his grandson had it all over the floor, and I was like, "Oh, please, hold together," and it did, So I was happy with that, and that made me happy getting him to do that.
We have that picture, don't we? That tractor,
yeah, right up there. Yep. So
there he is.
Yeah.
Our old Gerald.
So Gerald's, I don't want to get it wrong. He's 91. He's got 2 of them. The other one's the one we're fixing up too. That was his boys, Ronnie and Glenn's, and that's how it started. That's how he gave it to me, and we turned it into that. So. He was happy as he could be, and we were too. And that's the fun of it. It's not about money for us on this.
Yeah. Right.
It's fun.
It's to feed the hobby is what it is.
I understand.
Sure.
Well, it's kind of what, this podcast is probably going to be a hobby for a while. We hope to make some money doing it, but it's
more fun for us.
Yeah. I got to sit here. Yeah. I mean,
we get to talk. That's what we're both good at.
Yeah.
Well, that's like this. I mean, if it makes us a little money where we can buy a few more, that's great. If it don't, I'm still going to do it. It's fun for me, and it's fun for me and Griffin to do together.
Speaking of that, I know you guys are doing this as a hobby, and it's not an actual business, so you probably don't want to give your home phone number away over the air. But if somebody's wanting something redone, how would they contact you?
It's 618-384-7485.
He does want to give it out.
Yeah, I don't mind. That's the only one I got. I've been in the welding business for 25 years, so that number's out there. So I do that too. If you got some welding, we'll do that. I'll pitch. I'll pitch anything. And we do a lot of work, and that kind of led into this because it's still craftsman work, and that's what I like to do. I like to build stuff. So
before we take a break, I got one suggestion,
Yeah.
and it's because I know you guys are Walking Dead fans like me. Why don't we build a zombie apocalypse one with like spikes on the front of it and
let's do that one.
Torches and
I wish I'd had a picture of that since we talked about it, but there are guys that actually make them look weathered. There's a whole bunch that do weathered tractors. So
okay.
And they do ones where they're crashed and the tires off of them and they're parked in a fence row look. And So they're out there.
Probably for people that are displaying like farms and stuff and got an
Exactly,
old tractor.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
And that's what's so cool about
Hey,
this.
can you take this new tractor and break it for me?
And that's what somebody do.
Yes, I can.
Yes.
That'll be
We can
$80.
we can do that real easily. But that's what's so fun about this hobby, and like we talked a little bit earlier, it's not just kids. These are older guys that are collectors, but there's guys that want them brand new in the box. There's guys that want them customized out the wazoo. There's guys that do some really weird shit to them. I'm like, that's no way that'd ever be real, but they like it. And that's the fun of it, you know, and you can do whatever you want with it and share it, and everybody tells their stories, and it's a fun hobby to be in, and we get to see a lot of the same dealers at some of these shows, and we get to know them. There's a couple different guys. I can't wait to get to the show to see him again. That's the only time I see him. And there's a guy out there he does a YouTube site. He's for the love of tractors. I'll pitch him too. But I got to meet him at St. Louis last year. It was awesome. You know, I watch him pretty much every Sunday, so. It's a fun hobby for us, and if it turns into something that somebody wants us to do one, that'd be even better. I love to. I love when we did that for Gerald, and I got to see that smile on his face. Me and Griffin presented it to him. It's awesome. Yeah. And that's, Larry's, will be next, and I can't wait to give that to him. That was his dad's. That was his dad had that actual tractor, and that's like why that brush guard and some of that stuff's going to go on it, because that's the way his was. So.
Well, I think it's great, guys, and I think you need to keep doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
But let's we always play some sort of game with our guests. I've got a surprise game for you guys. Let's take a quick 5-minute break. I need to stretch my legs and hear from one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
The time has come, and you're ready to pop that big question. Now what? When it comes to engagement rings, the first thought you may have is to head to Evansville, only to find yourself dealing with a pushy salesperson, a showcase full of rings every girl already has, and high prices. Hey everyone, this is Cody Gottman, owner of HD Bean Jewelers. Skip the headache and let me build you a one-of-a-kind custom engagement ring that is made right here, Main Street in Carmel, Illinois. I personally handle every custom design, so you get to work with a real jeweler, not some salesperson. Every ring is built in-house and comes full-backed with a lifetime warranty and service plan. If you're worried about financing, we do that too. Stop by the showroom anytime, and let's talk engagement rings.
And we are back. I know you guys are big Walking Dead fans, and so am I. So, actually, before we start the game, I got a question for you. If you had to pick, we'll start with you.
Oh.
If you had to pick 2 villains that were your favorite villains throughout the entire series, what would your 2 favorite villains be?
Oh, right off the bat, Negan was my favorite by far. I absolutely love Negan before and after he turned good.
Right.
And probably my second would probably be the governor. I mean, he's
my buddy Josh Allen
Yeah.
just texted me today because I told him that we were doing this, and that was his favorite.
Yeah, I mean, he's
governor.
He's just brute force, doesn't care.
Cut Herschel's head off.
Yeah, just, out there to prove a point.
What would your 2 be?
I'm going to go a totally different way. I love Beta.
Okay, yeah.
I like him a lot. And I would probably have to go Merle.
Merle.
And I don't think technically call him a bad guy. I don't know. But I like to float that away because that's the way I am with Star Wars because I'm a big Boba Fett fan. And I don't know if he's really good or bad. But
right.
But so I'd have to go Merle to a point. Because I liked his character a lot.
I'd call Boba Fett bad.
Yeah.
I'd throw him in that category.
Yeah.
Anti-hero kind of situation.
Yeah, and he's kind of my favorite on that end, too.
I've not seen all of them, and the ones I have seen have been a long time, but wasn't he like a mercenary?
Bounty hunter.
Are you talking about you haven't seen all the Star Warses?
Have not. I've seen the original 3, which I guess is technically the second 3.
The middle.
Yeah,
the middle.
And the
4, 5, 6.
And then in college, I watched 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And I've not seen any of the new 3. I've not seen
Rogue One.
Mandalorian.
You haven't seen The Mandalorian?
I haven't seen The Mandalorian.
You should probably lose your sci-fi card or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Mandalorian is very good.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best. I have to tell you, I have seen all, if you count the Han Solo movie and the Rogue One, I've seen all 11, 9, 10, 11, whatever, 9, 10, 11, I don't know. I've seen them all in the movie theaters.
You know what my favorite Star Wars movie was?
Yeah.
And I just made my daughter watch them over the weekend. Ewoks, The Battle for Endor.
Yeah.
And
was that the Christmas special that they did a long time ago?
No, this is an actual. It was a made for TV movie or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And then there was another one. I think it was called the Ewok Adventure Caravan of Courage or something like that.
I don't know if I even know that. They did make an original Christmas movie.
I remember that.
It was terrible, and they actually did a cartoon, and they play a lot of Easter eggs in The Mandalorian to that.
Yeah, I remember them talking about that.
So just a little trivia for that. The gun that the Mandalorian carries, the double weird-ass spiky gun, that is from the original Christmas special.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, that is where that comes from.
Well, this turned into Star Wars trivia.
Yeah, that's.
I don't even know who. I mean, if I saw a picture of Boba, however you say it, Boba.
Oh,
Boba.
Just
Boba.
Just
Oh my
Boba.
God.
Boba. I would know, but I don't remember that character from the movie.
Had the armor.
Yeah.
Had the missile on the back.
He was the one that fell in
missile.
He fell in the pit.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, moving on to Walking Dead. So I'm going to kind of explain the rules so the listeners can kind of play along also. But so I have 20 questions that are centered solely around one of my favorite villains, Alpha.
Okay.
I think she is nuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I have 15 trivia questions centered around probably my second favorite villain, and that would be Negan. So you may take the lead on this just because you're a Negan fan, but so
who's not a Negan fan?
Right.
Yeah.
I thought he was funny.
Oh yeah. Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. You know,
So-
he was actually in a DC comic.
He was he was in the Watchmen,
That's
wasn't he?
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I tell a little R-rated story real quick about that one? Have you ever seen The Watchmen?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite movies.
Okay, we're comic book fans. I mean, sci-fi is our gig. So I took the whole family. Carly was probably about 7.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, you know, in that scene, the big blue man comes out naked.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
I had some questions.
Right in the
My
movie
wife-
theater.
yeah. My wife was not happy with me. I said I thought it was a comic book movie. You know, didn't realize it was quite that rated R, and
It was very rated
Well,
R.
very rated R.
Very long rated R movie too.
Yes.
Speaking of comic book movies, and I just learned this like a year or so ago, but you remember Blade with
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes?
Oh,
I,
yeah.
evidently that is a comic
That's
book.
Oh,
a DC,
yeah, it is.
They're about to
absolutely.
make a new one of that
Yep.
too.
Yeah.
With Wesley?
No, it's I can't remember who it's with.
I don't know. Yeah, he's crossed over with Spider-Man. Is Spider-Man? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and,
some of that.
Punisher. There's a lot
Yeah.
of those.
There was
yeah.
a really weird comic book movie. It's an old movie. I want to say the name of it was Spawn.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Spawn.
that's another. That's
They're making
these-
that one again too.
Yeah.
They need to.
Yeah.
We're running out of ideas
I
in
know.
Hollywood.
It was
We're
the-
just
Yeah,
redoing them
well,
all.
there's some of it. Is that a DC? Was Spawn DC?
I don't think
or
it
Marvel?
was. I think it was DC.
Yeah,
it wasn't
I think-
Marvel.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
it could have been another.
Because the guy that actually wrote Spawn, he was the main director for the first one, and they wanted to redo it like 5 or 6 years ago, and he was writing a script, and they told him, or that he said that I won't redo that movie until like he has the script completed. So he's been writing a new script for like 15 years or something crazy. So they're,
wow.
I think they were supposed to start filming it this year, and it was going to be an HBO movie, and then obviously COVID.
My neighbor, he doesn't like his name mentioned in public, so I'm not going to mention his name, but he has a cousin who is engaged to a guy that helps do like sound effects and stuff for some of these Marvel movies. I know he worked on both Venoms, and I want to say like the Avenger stuff. But isn't there another guy from Carmi that works on
Yeah.
Marvel movies?
I don't know which ones or anything, but yeah, he's hopefully going to be coming in to talk to me on Sky's View.
That'd be nice.
Hopefully. Trying to get him.
Yeah, so these are multiple choice questions.
Good.
I think the best way to do this is if I read the question and you think you know the answer without hearing the multiple choice,
Oh,
blurt it out.
okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Blurt out the answer or blurt out your name to say you want to answer.
For those just audio listens, say your name first.
Okay.
No,
and
just
then
scream it.
Just
Just
scream it.
yell
Go
in the
for
mic.
it.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
holds bar.
That's right.
It seems like something would
If
happen.
you
at
don't know
Christmas.
it when I ask the question, then wait for the multiple choice. But if you hear it and you think that's it, because you're trying to beat each other here. Do you
You
want to
get one guess.
You want
Yeah,
to
I
keep score?
can keep score.
Here you go. Oh, you got a pen?
You get one guess too, so if you miss the first
Yeah,
one, the next
or
person
out.
gets.
That's right.
Mm.
All right. Number 1, Alpha is the leader of what tribe of people?
The Whisperers.
Eric gets 1 right off the bat. Ding, ding, ding. We're doing Alpha first since you're a Negan fan.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks. This one's a little tougher. This is a quote. The dead don't have blank, and we shouldn't either. Without blank or a past, those of us strong enough to still be alive out here can know each other on a primal level. What does Alpha say the dead don't have? Is it fears, hearts, names, or weaknesses?
Weaknesses.
Eric says weaknesses. You got a guess?
What was the first answer again?
Fears, hearts, names, and weaknesses.
I want to go with fears.
The answer is names.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm assuming that's why they go by Alpha, Beta,
Yeah.
Gamma. They've scratched their names.
Yeah.
All right. Do I get a point for that since nobody got it?
No. No
Alpha-
points awarded.
Alpha is the longest lasting Walking Dead villain, having appeared in the greatest number of episodes. Is that true or false?
False.
False. Yeah.
False.
I think they tied. I don't know
Griffin
who
probably-
said false.
I think
first.
Griffin's
He
one,
did.
yeah,
We got
yeah.
him.
First.
It is false. Do you want to take a guess at who has been in the most episodes?
Probably Negan.
Bonus points.
You are correct.
Oh, bonus point.
Bonus point. That is correct. Negan has been in the most. Why does Alpha kill her husband toward the start of the apocalypse?
He tried. He tried to. What was it?
He's abusive to their daughter Lydia. He is bitten by a walker, and she wants to put him out of his misery. He cheats on Alpha with another woman at their camp, or he refuses to leave their friends when one reanimates.
I want to say that.
Tick
I don't know.
tock, tick
Yeah.
tock.
I want to say that he refuses to leave when one reanimates.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Award that man a point.
We get some points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 5. Oh, this is going to be fast. I'll put $5 on Eric. Who is Alpha's second in command?
Beta.
Oh, he beat you. Oh, man.
Man.
All right, here's a tough one.
4-1 right now.
What is Alpha's real name? Is it Reba, Frankie, the audience is never told, or Mary?
Mary.
Final answer?
Yeah.
You want to try to steal it?
Never told.
Audience is never told.
Oh.
Number 7, who are the first 2 Walking Dead protagonists to meet Alpha face to face? Is it Daryl and Carol, Alden, and Luke, Michonne and Rick, or RJ? It's only one name, so obviously not
R and J.
Maybe it's R and J. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Alden guy. Alden in the seems like.
Do you want to steal it?
I mean, the only other one that makes sense would be Daryl and Carol.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Award him another
Well,
point.
Man, this boy.
Yeah, he's blowing up. Number 8, your people crossed into our land. There will be no conflict. Your people killed our people. There will be no conflict. I'm done talking. Bring me my blank, or there will be conflict. What word is missing from that quote?
Daughter.
Daughter it is. He didn't even need him.
He's quick.
Wow.
Yeah.
We go back to Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm winning. You know,
I don't know. I'd probably do that one with you pretty good too.
Yeah. We'll probably, I mean, there's a bunch of Star Wars fans, so we're eventually going to
Yeah,
do some
we
Star
gotta do
Wars
some Star
trivia.
Wars.
I'll have to leave him in charge of that, though.
That's cool.
That or I'm going to have to catch up on Star Wars.
Yeah, I think you need to do that.
I
Part.
think
At least
you're
watch The Mandalorian.
That is a
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Disney
Disney
Plus.
Plus.
Yes. Who else? Disney owns everything.
Yeah.
You
That's
can
true.
borrow my account. I know you're cheap, so.
Yeah. To live with the dead means to live in silence. If the mother can't quiet the child, the dead will. Blank. What words are missing from this quote by Alpha? Is it natural selection? A lesson learned? That's the order of things? Or so be it?
I want to say that's the order of things.
That's what I guessed, and
So
I
be
was
it.
wrong.
So be it.
And so be it is wrong. Her actual words were natural selection.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been waiting to use that one.
Glad I could be part of that.
He's been waiting for you both to get it wrong.
Yeah, I've been itching.
When Alpha disguises herself to attend the fair at the kingdom, where does she get her wig? By killing and scalping a traveler from the hilltop? By weaving together the hair she's been saving from Lydia's haircuts? By scavenging it from a mannequin in a department store? Or by using a wig she made from her own hair, which she kept when she shaved?
The first one.
Yeah, she scalped it.
By killing and scalping a traveler from the hilltop is correct. I think Eric beat him to that one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All over that one.
Oh, yeah, brother.
That's right.
What do Alpha and her people do during the winter? Is it wear thick animal furs to stay warm in the Virginia woods? Take over Alexandria to stay warm? Migrate south to a warmer state? Or hibernate in caves beneath the snow?
The caves.
You want to steal it?
Yeah, I think I remember them talking about migrating.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Migrating it is.
Ooh.
You are the stealing champion.
I know.
Just wait for him to eliminate an
know.
answer, and then you have a 1 out of 3. All right, number 12. Who does Alpha personally bring to view her horde of walkers in the episode entitled The Calm Before? Is it Maggie, Carol, Daryl, or Rick?
Daryl.
I'm in with Carol.
Daryl it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, this is bad.
I mean,
Yeah.
we are at,
Let's don't
Yeah,
tell.
what's-
Let's don't
yeah.
tell this.
we're at 7-3 right
Oh,
That ain't
And you
bad.
haven't even got to the Negan
That's
questions
true.
yet.
now. Yeah.
well,
Alpha has to move her horde of walkers to hide it. Where does she conceal the horde?
in the
Cave.
caves.
Ooh.
Come on, I need it.
I just
I need
just
it.
give it to me.
Oh,
There you go.
it's a pity point.
Boy, wow.
Yeah.
I don't even want it now. I don't want it. Take it back.
That's good. Number 14. When Alpha is rejected by her daughter Lydia, she gives a speech to her people, saying, I'm no longer weak. I'm stronger than ever. We are free. We love no one. We are free. We fear nothing. We are free. This is the blank. Now is the blank. We are the blank. What words are missing? Is it end of the world? Time of destruction? Last day? Glorious rebirth?
Glorious rebirth.
You want to steal it?
Was one of the answers this is the day?
We have end of the world,
End of the
time of destruction, or last day.
Last day, I think, is it.
The correct
Probably
answer is end of the world.
No.
Number 15.
So did anybody get that?
No,
No.
not even close.
Well,
Well, the question was so long, I forgot what was
Oh,
going on.
I literally heard the word free 9 times. I think.
Yeah.
I thought you were stuttering for a second.
I'm telling you, Alpha's nuts. That's why I liked her so much. Which of the following men briefly becomes Alpha's lover?
Oh, Negan.
Boom!
No, I can't. That ought to be worth 2 points.
Yeah, he did. Yep. It is correct.
Yeah.
Who does Alpha send to infiltrate Alexandria and spy it out from the inside? Is it Gamma, Lydia, Negan, or Dante?
Gamma. Oh. That was a close one.
I guess neither one of them can steal it since they both got it wrong.
Oh, man.
It was somebody named Dante.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, yeah, the guy that was.
He
yeah.
killed the doctor,
Uh-huh.
too.
Yep. Yeah.
I can't remember names. I remember what they did, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Can I get a half point for
He
the
was
kid he killed?
he was the guy that made like the
Yeah.
Like a weird
yeah,
noise with his
was,
mouth?
He's like clicking and like.
Yeah.
He's a weirdo.
What does Alpha do as a ritual practice to make herself stronger? Is it
Whips herself.
I'm going to wait for the answers on this.
I'm gonna have to go to the judges for that, but I think I'm gonna award it to him.
Am I the judge?
Yeah, I'll read him. Holding
didn't know
her
there was
hand in the
2.
fire, pull-ups using a tree branch, have Beta whip her, or walking over a bed of nails.
And he said whips.
He said whip herself, but technically,
Yeah.
Beta was doing
we'll
it.
give him a half a
Fine.
point.
Yeah.
well, it's not.
I'm going to give him a full point.
There you go.
It's hard.
All
to
right, 3
draw a half
more, and we're
point.
done with Alpha.
Sure.
What does Alpha believe she is about to do just before she is killed? Is it see her daughter, kill Carol, have sex with Negan, or capture Daryl?
Ooh.
I want to say see her daughter.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Award him another point.
She's in that cabin.
Just
Yeah.
hit 10. 10 points for him.
I was just hurt by that. I'm just scared to jump now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which of the following does not happen to Alpha's zombified head? Is it Beta skins it and turns it into a mask? Carol puts it still alive on a pike? Carol grinds its brains out with the heel of her foot? Or Beta carries it around and listens to it for instructions?
Carol grinds it with her foot.
Correct.
Yeah. He cut her face off. Well, Carol puts on a spike. Beta finds it, carries it along forever, and then peels
Makes
her.
a mask out of it.
Yeah.
Do you really have to tell us all what went on? Come
I
on.
feel like people who have never seen this show are listening right now and thinking we are all
Yeah.
three insane.
I'll
for
be honest
watching
with
such
you.
garbage.
I got to like Negan's season, and I haven't seen any of these seasons. So
Oh,
we're
really?
ready.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
spoiler
Watch these
alert,
now.
folks.
Sorry.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'll add that at the start.
Who's not watched The Walking Dead?
I need to
better
finish
know.
it. Yeah.
After her death, Alpha appears in the episode Look at the Flowers in a hallucination suffered by which Walking Dead character?
Carol.
It was Carol.
Wow.
Those are the flowers.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Negan so
Yeah.
Eric can catch
Yeah,
up.
I'm
here.
sure.
So
there's a
it's,
lot of-
so it's 12-5 right
Wow.
now.
Okay.
Not too bad.
We
You
can
still
come back.
You can still
We
come
can
back.
make it.
I have a feeling though
We're not.
Griffin's going to do better this round because you're a Negan fan, right?
Oh, yeah, I love Negan. Doesn't mean I'll know all the questions, but I do like his character.
That's true.
With these odds right now, I'm putting a 5 on him. Just saying.
Me too.
Pretty heavy.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna double down. Here.
All right. Can't let them see the answers. When did Negan make his dramatic first appearance on The Walking Dead?
Oh.
In the season 6 finale, in the season 7 premiere episode, during the mid-season finale of season 5, or 3 episodes into season 8?
Oh, man. I know it was a big episode, so I know it wasn't 3 episodes in for sure.
I think it's the season finale.
I want to say it was
The season 6 finale?
Yes.
I want to say it was the what was the mid-season one? Was it season 5? No,
Eric gets the
Yeah.
matter.
That's
Give
me.
Eric the point.
Thank you.
All right.
Here he comes.
Yeah.
What is the name of Negan's brutal weapon of choice?
Lucille.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, I knew that one.
Ooh, I don't know who got that one.
I need it. Come on, boys.
Yeah, give it to Eric.
Thank you.
If it's a tie, it goes to Eric.
That's right.
If you're
Until we get
behind,
close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Uh-huh. I see
I
how
like
it
how
is.
this goes.
When he is first introduced to audiences, Negan is the leader of what group of people?
Saviors.
Saviors it is. Negan builds a harem of multiple wives. Who is not one of his wives? Sherry, Frankie, Amber, or Carol?
Carol.
Boom.
Hey.
Catching up. When Carl shows up at the sanctuary... Hold on a second.
Hey, before we get, we all got to do our best, Carl. We're
Carl.
Carl.
When Carl shows up at the sanctuary and attempts to kill Negan, what does Negan do? Gives him a tour of the place, beats him to death, imprisons him in a cell, or chains him to the yard.
Gives him a tour.
Sure, yeah, I'd say you.
Tour it is.
Yep. He really liked Carl.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Which of the following people does Negan not, at some point, keep imprisoned in the sanctuary?
Does not.
Does not.
Okay.
So 3 of these people have been imprisoned there.
Sure.
Is it Sasha, Daryl, Glenn, or
Glenn.
Doc? Yeah. He couldn't have imprisoned
Yeah, he
Glenn.
bashed his head in.
Yeah. Number 7. Who is Negan's bloodthirsty second in command who had all of Oceanside's men and the scavengers slaughtered? And I'll give you a hint. This guy's voice was in Grand Theft Auto. He was the main character's voice in Grand Theft Auto 5. I think 5. Pretty sure.
We've never actually had a Grand Theft Auto game.
Jared, Dwight,
Dwight.
Simon, or Gavin?
Gavin.
Neither one of them get it.
Yeah,
He said Dwight.
Simon.
Yeah, Simon.
Simon.
Yep.
Okay.
I jumped the gun. I knew Dwight was up there.
Yeah, but
in
he
the
wasn't-
ranks,
he
but
wasn't
number
yeah.
one.
Yeah. Which of the following is not one of the ways Negan is depicted killing someone on The Walking Dead? So 3 of these ways he has done, 1 way he's not. Strangling someone to death, shoving someone into a furnace, disemboweling someone, or shooting someone with a rocket launcher.
Shooting somebody.
Disemboweling.
With the rocket
Yeah.
launcher.
One? Oh.
Yeah. He doesn't like guns
Is it
too
the
well.
rocket?
No, he's not a big
He's
guy.
more of a hands-on type
Yeah.
of,
I
killer.
don't remember who he disemboweled, though.
Oh, here you go. I like this one. I remember this one. Who tells Negan, I'm Negan. I am utterly, completely, stone cold Negan? Is it Carl, Daryl, Eugene, or Dwight?
Daryl.
You want to steal it?
I want to say it's Eugene.
It is Eugene.
Oh.
That just sounds like I'm
Yeah,
utterly,
yeah,
completely
yeah.
stone
Yeah,
cold.
yeah.
Man.
That's right, yeah.
That's Eugene all the
With his
way.
mullet
Yes,
flapping in the wind.
Yeah.
Which of the following people did Negan not directly kill? Glenn, Alpha, Abraham, or Denise?
Denise, wasn't it?
Correct. This is turning into a slaughter,
This
Eric.
boy is good.
Yeah. Who does Negan save during a massive blizzard? Is it Michonne, Carol, Judith, or Lydia?
Judith.
Correct.
Yeah.
Was Judith. She is an unbelievable actress, I
Very
think.
good.
She's amazing.
For as young as she is, she's impressive. Either that or she's older than she looks. She's just tiny for her age.
She does a good job.
Man.
Even for how complex this show is. I mean,
Yeah, it'd be kind of weird for
Yeah.
a kid that age to see all that
uh-huh.
craziness. But Negan twice escapes his cell in Alexandria. How?
He was like,
Once he pushes past Michonne, and once he picks the lock. Once Gabriel lets him out, and once he picks the lock. Once it's left unlocked, and once Carol lets him out.
That one. I'm going with that one.
Eric got it.
Mhm.
Yep, left unlocked the first time. Carol let him out the second time to
Yep.
unleash him
She did.
onto the world.
Didn't know it at the time, but that's what she did.
Yeah. Who does Negan call the Jolly Green Giant?
Beta.
Boom.
Yep.
Beta it is. Your favorite.
Yep. I just like that actor and everything about him. He's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
like him.
You're only 5 behind.
Oh, how many more we got?
I don't know. How many do we have left?
A lot of people may not know this, but Beta was Opie in Sons of Anarchy.
You know,
Oh, yeah. Oh, really?
Yep.
Yep.
I didn't
And
know that.
he was also he was in Remember the Titans with
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He was
He's the one that
he was
had the
main
wreck.
guy, yeah.
Had the, or,
I didn't know he was in Walking Dead. Now
Yeah.
I'm jacked. I love
Yeah,
him.
he's Beta,
Yeah.
and he does it. And he was also in that other series about the Ozarks, where all the mountain
Yes.
people.
God, that
Did a
was
good job in
good
that one.
show. What was that called?
I wish I could remember that one. It was pretty. He was like the son of the main guy. and
They were like mountain men that
Yeah.
lived up in this hill.
Oh, it
and
sounds
it's
Yeah.
in modern
interesting.
day time, but they're still living in that mountain man culture, and the city's kind of coming in on them. It's
It's like I think they're trying to mine the hill for coal or something, and they like the whole group is like tearing the machines up,
Yeah.
and it's a really good
definitely
show.
a good show.
I need a
Yeah.
good show to watch. I
Yeah,
might
I
look
can't
into
remember
that.
what the name of it, but look him up. He's in that.
Yeah.
To whom does Negan say that after his wife died, I didn't feel anything, I was just here, and that is my strength. Now me, I am dead to this world, but you are pretending. You think that it makes you strong to say that emotions aren't real, that we are animals. Is it Carol, Alpha,
I'm gonna-
Daryl, or Rick?
I thought it was Alpha.
Alpha it is.
He's on a heater.
Last question.
Oh,
Oh, no.
I'm gonna, at least presentable.
Yeah.
Maybe if I get
Yeah.
this or
Which of the following is not a quote from Negan? He has all kinds of quotes.
oh yeah,
oh yeah.
Hot diggity dog, this place is magnificent. Looking for a little vacation. Best dope I ever did was in a mattress. It's going to be pee-pee pants city here real soon. Or I've got my fingers crossed for a little freaky deaky.
I'm going to let you go first on that one.
They all sound like you.
Yeah, they sound exactly like him. The only one that doesn't really, I don't know why it doesn't make sense, but one about the dope in the mattress just doesn't, I don't know, for some odd reason doesn't work.
There you go.
Award the man.
The boy's good.
That's good.
The boy's good, and the boy just won.
Yeah.
He deserved it.
Yes, he did. What was the final score, just to rub it in, Eric?
So the final score was 17 to 13. That's not awful.
Not horrible.
I got in double digits.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah,
I'm real good with that.
I'm curious to talk to my buddy Animal, Josh Allen, and see how well he did. He's actually the person that got me started on Walking Dead. There was already 3 seasons of it. I remember seeing him in Blockbuster Video in Evansville.
God.
And
Blockbuster.
he's like, man, you really need to start watching Walking Dead. And I'm thinking, I hate horror stuff. I hate zombie stuff. I hate all that crap. And he's like, it's really not about that.
Yeah.
There it is in there, but it's more about how people would react or behave in the end of times, in the end of the world. I gave it a shot, and he was right.
My wife calls it a gory soap opera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah. She should know. She likes a lot of soap operas. But I didn't start till almost the 3rd season. Mm-hmm. And they just happened to be doing one of them days where they were showing them all again, and I started watching it. But I'm going to be honest. We're talking a little Walking Dead here. I love the original Walking Dead. Some of this other they've came out with, I am not happy with.
Beyond
the side,
like
the side project ones.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. It's just the cast of characters, I think, is.
I was the same with. I was really into Sons of Anarchy, and then they started doing like the side ones with like the Mayans. The Mayan. Yeah, I wasn't all about that.
That's kind of where this has went with me. I tried and
as soon as they killed off Rick, I was mad.
Spoiler alert, big time.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, I shouldn't say that.
Rick is not dead.
I shouldn't say they killed him off. As soon as Rick left the show.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That he is actually supposed to be in some of these short movie things they're going to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's not gone, but he's off. They've really wiped out the original cast a lot. In different ways.
Yeah, they're all Brits anyway.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
They really are.
Every time they show up on what's the show?
Fear the Walking Dead.
Talking Dead.
Talking Dead. I'm always like,
Maggie.
How in the world does Maggie sound like a Southern Illinois redneck like me?
Yeah.
But in real life, has a complete different accent.
Yeah, and then
it's crazy.
What's the guy been in there since the beginning? Went to the Fear the Walking Dead. Oh,
Morgan.
He's British.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm going to probably piss a lot of people off. I am not a Morgan fan.
The character, you mean?
Yeah. I think he whines way too much.
Yeah.
So just throwing that out there. I'm
Listen,
not a Morgan fan.
Zombies everywhere, and it's the end of the world. Quit whining.
Yeah, just kill them.
Yeah.
Just quit
We're all whining.
Quit with your conscience and just kill the heck. Go after
Wipe them out.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's been fun. I appreciate you guys coming on.
Thanks again.
Great.
Hopefully, you guys keep doing this tractor thing because
I think we will.
I honestly think stuff like this is good for the soul.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it gives you a sense of accomplishment once you put that final touch on it.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys, and I love the show.
Thanks for coming in, guys.
I really do, and it's been a blast.
And if any of you are out there have a hobby, business, or just anything you want to talk about and want to come on the show, get a hold of us. We'll do what we can to get you on. So for Eric Hart, Griffin Hart, Skylar Anderson, and myself, it's been fun. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Prime.